G'day everyone, it's Sam. Today's practice is going to be all about twisting. So working towards some deeper twists and maybe even a twisted arm balance. So if you've got yourself 2 blocks, you can use them for today's practice, but if you don't worry about it. When you're ready, let's get started. So we'll begin today's practice standing at the top of the mat. So once you come on up, you find your Tadasana, mountain pose. So taking 2 big toes to touch, drawing the inner thighs towards each other. Just take your thumbs above your bum for a moment. Move the skin of your glutes down towards your heel. So you feel the front of the hips start to lift. This scooping under of the tailbone allows the navel to pull in, a little more activation in the core. You soften your eyes shut, let your arms rest down by the side. As you begin to notice your own breath, prepare your mind and your body for the practice. Always know that along the way you can pause this video, you can stop for a moment of rest whenever you like. If we're just beginning our practice journey, there might be some challenges in here that may not quite be accessible for today. And that's the beauty about YouTube, you can revisit these videos whenever you like and retry them, just to see how your practice is progressing. Taking a full inhale through your nose to fill up. And part the lips to let it go. You blink the eyes open. And from the top of your mat, we'll use our inhale to reach our arms up towards the sky. So take a full breath, reach the arms in front first. Take the palms to touch, look up towards your thumbs. And as you exhale, work to fold forward. Taking a bend into the knees in this first one, just to allow the tension to move away from the hamstrings. Separate your feet hip width apart. Just start to pedal out the feet, so play with straightening one leg, bending the opposite knee, just moving a little bit of awareness from side to side. Depending on where you're coming to this practice from, whether it's the start of the day or the end of the day, we always need a little bit of love for the hamstrings. They're a very big muscle group and they do tend to get tight rather quickly, even if we do stretch them quite a lot. Here we'll take a halfway lift, draw the sternum forward, get nice and long through the arms. And keeping your right foot where it is, we'll extend the left leg back nice and long. So we're coming into a lunge, working to get that right thigh bone down towards the earth, and then at the same time lifting the left thigh away from the floor. We'll ground the left palm down underneath the left shoulder. So to wrap that left bicep forward, and just take your right hand to the tailbone for a moment. So we want our twists, or majority of our twists for today, to come from the shoulder blades. So I'm going to keep the hips nice and square, flex that left glute, and peel your right shoulder blade up towards the sky. Just take your chin in line with your left shoulder for a moment. And if you feel that shoulder stack, you reach the arm up towards the sky. You're pressing down heavy through the inside of your left hand. If you feel the space, you take your gaze up towards the right thumb. Maybe you can see with your left eye to finish that twist. And twist starting from the left kidney, wrapping all the way around towards the left eyeball. Take one last breath. Exhale, soften the right hand to mat. With as little drama as possible, we're going to step back to the plank pose. Take an inhale. And then exhale, work to lower for a push-up. So you can use your knees absolutely if you need to. Inhale will press you straight back up. And exhale will lower all the way to the floor. Setting up for Bhujangasana Cobra. So hands underneath elbows, tops of the feet press down. Inhale, lift your chest. So kneecaps are lifting up off the mat. Shoulder blades are squeezing, elbows drawing towards each other, and crown of the head is leading the charge. Take one last breath. As you exhale, allow your forehead to drop. Tucking under your toes, the knees will lift. Pull the navel in towards the spine, take an inhale. And the exhale will press straight up to a high plank. And then back into your very first downward facing dog. As always, pedaling out the feet. As if you're walking on the spot, as if you're riding a bike, as if you're on the elliptical machine at the gym. You can start to find some natural movement. Taking hips from side to side, stretching out through the sides of the body. You naturally find a little bit of stillness, a little bit of awareness in the arms. So inner palm heavy, space between index finger and thumb. Wrap your biceps forward towards the front of you. And shuffle left foot a little closer to the right foot. On the inhale, we'll reach our right leg up and back behind us. As we exhale, right knee is going to come across to the left elbow. So So as you come across the body, just extend your right leg out to the left hand side. Keep everything else the same. So both palms still grounding flat. Left heel still lifting. Just shifting weight back and forwards on the ball of the left foot. So if you did the previous class on my YouTube, you'll notice we did the same movement. So it's great just to get a little twist first and foremost, but also stretch through the outside of the hip there, the IT band. And flex the right toes towards the face. So take a breath. Stay as you exhale. And if we can, without sweeping the foot, see if you can press down through the hands, lift the right foot, take it back up towards the sky. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Once we do, look forward, lift the heels, begin to tiptoe towards the top. We're going to keep the palms pressing flat the entire way. So this is great preparation for your handstands and press handstands specifically. Inhale, come onto the fingertips, halfway lift. Exhale, palms flat, we fold, elbows bend, the head drop. Inhale, we reach the arms forward and up. Look towards the thumb. Exhale, palms come together. You reach your arms down by the side for Tadasana. Beginning our second round. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, we fold down, bending the knees. Inhaling for your halfway lift, drawing your chest forward. This time the left foot will stay. Extend your right leg back long and set up for your lunge. So you can be up on fingertips to start with, sitting the left thigh down low. Squeezing that right glute and pressing the right hamstring up towards the ceiling. Right hand under shoulder. Wrap the bicep forward. So that external rotation in your upper arm is going to allow the twist to occur more naturally. Left hand to tailbone. Make sure the right hits the same height as left. Peel that left shoulder blade up high. Chin in line with the right shoulder. If you feel the space, reach the left arm up. You may need to adjust your right hand. And then if there's space, you send the gaze up towards your left hand. See if you can see it with your right eye. The left shoulder blade is wrapping onto the back. The shoulder head is moving away from the ear. The hips are staying nice and square. So if you feel that right hip drop along the way, keep squeezing the right glute and pressing the right hamstring up. Last breath in. Exhale, left hand to mat. Arms flat, we step back to plank pose. Make your way through the push-up. So the exhale will lower you down. The inhale will press you straight back up. And exhale will lower halfway, find chaturanga. As you untuck your toes, you straighten your arms for upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Just hands and feet grounding, everything else lifting up off the floor. Take a breath. Exhale, we'll come back to downward facing dog. Once we arrive, right foot wiggles a little closer to the left foot. Inhale, left leg up and back behind. See if you can watch your toes as they rise, keep them pointing towards the floor. And exhale, left knee finds the right elbow, come across the body. Extend the left leg out to the right hand side. Shuffle your right foot back a touch so you're nice and long. So the body's in a plank position, just the left leg is off to the right hand side. You start to shuffle back and forwards, the ball of the right foot. Flexing left toes towards the face. So we recently got some new house plants and I'm just noticing there's some little black ants just wandering around on the floor. Maybe they just want to do some yoga too, that's okay. It's good to have some greenery in the house. Press down through the hands, see if you can lift the foot, take it up to sky, breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. And your legs are warm, your arms are warm. Option to walk towards the top of the mat if you want to take it further. We look forward, so hands are absolutely the anchors here. Grip the mat with the fingers, wrap the biceps forward. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees. Exhale, take a gentle hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Palms touch above the head. Exhale, hands through heart. We meet in Tadasana. A moment, find your breath. Find your balance. Take one more round of Surya Namaskar, this time traditional, so no more lunging, no more funky plank poses. Just the way you would normally wake up your body with your sun salutation day. When we're ready, we'll take a breath first. Open mouth, exhale. And inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, taking your halfway lift, drawing your sternum forward. And your choice here, you can either step or float back, chaturanga. Don't forget your push up there, and then make your way through your vinyasa. So, cobra pose or upward facing dog, both options, fantastic. Exhale, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Give yourself a few breaths here. The practice will get progressively more active and pretty quickly as well. So remember, your breaths in downward facing dog are always your chance to come back to your center, come back to your focus, your efforts. And give yourself a chance to regather, regroup, readjust, refine, and any other words you can think of. One final breath here. Stay for your exhale. And look forward. Lift heels, bend knees, walk, float, or maybe catch some hang time to the top. If you walk to the top of the mat, that's okay. Just try not to walk too far in front of you. There may be a desk, a wall, or anything like that. Sometimes it doesn't always work out how you want it to. Take your halfway lift. And exhale, we bow. If you do have your blocks, we're going to take them just outside the feet, and if you don't, that's okay. You can use your fingertips onto the floor, or if you have some books or anything like that, something that's roughly the same height. And take our two big toes to touch. Come onto the fingertips and sit your hips down nice and low. So we're setting our legs up for Utkatasana chair pose, and we want to use the fingertips here to really allow the hips to sink while the chest rises. Scoop the tailbone under, draw the belly in, and draw the inner thighs together, just reach the arms. So you come from that nice chair shape, so hips are always lower than the heart in a chair, that's how a chair functions. From here we are going to add a twist, so take a breath. Exhale, we twist to right, so left arm will reach forward, right arm back. Take your right hand to the tailbone, peel the right shoulder blade backwards, then bend the left elbow, and take the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. If you make a fist with your left hand, you can press your right open palm against it. That'll allow you to sit the hips lower and peel the right shoulder blade up towards the sky. The navel's drawing back in towards the midline. Quick look at the knees to make sure they're next to each other. The left knee is not creeping in front. We'll take an inhale. Sit lower on the breath out. And then come back through center, reach the arms up with Utkatasana, long breath. And exhale, we twist to left. I know. Doing both sides consecutively is an absolute doozy, but we can do it. Left hand to tailbone. Peel the left shoulder blade back. Bend the right elbow. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Left palm on top of right fist. Hips sit low. Peel the left shoulder blade up. Gaze towards the ceiling. Feel the fire burning in the quads. Feel the navel pulling in. Gaze at the knees. See if they're in line with each other. We're here for a breath. We sit lower on the exhale. Inhale, we come back to center, last breath. And exhale, straighten the legs and fold over the thigh. Whew. Step your feet a little wider. If you did at the beginning of practice, play with bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, shifting from side to side. So waking the entire body up nice and early, we are preparing for some stronger poses. So I would love to tell you that that was the final chair pose, but that wouldn't be very honest. So we're going to reset, two big toes to touch, heels apart. Use the blocks again, pop them on a lower side if you have them there next to you. Start to sit our hips back, lift our chest. Reach your arms up, Utkatasana. We won't be here for as long this time. Our intention is to lower down towards the floor. So keep sending weight back into your heels. Keep tucking that tailbone under, pulling the navel in. The higher we reach the arms, the more the hips will sink back. And once your hips descend all the way towards your heels, if you have your blocks, you can use them for support. If there's nothing there, you use your hands. Or if nothing is needed, you lower the hips down, we come to Navasana. You want to take a moment to adjust. Hands to the back of the hamstrings. Feet flex. 2 big toes to touch. Making that straight line from knee to ankle. A long spine, shoulders rolling back. You locate your block or your book or something. If it happens to be air, that's okay too. You're going to take something or nothing into your right hand. We're going to roll down onto the back. Extend both legs up towards the sky. When we get there, the block in the right hand is going to move out towards the right hand side. Left finger is going to come behind your left ear. Then right leg is going to stay exactly where it is. Lower the left heel down. Let it hover just shy of the mat. So pointing the feet, or flointing if you will, a pointed foot with the toes flexed back towards you, so the ball of the foot presses forward. We'll keep the tailbone working to lift up, we'll keep the left heel floating. Now take a breath. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. That's 1. Inhale, extend. Exhale for 2. We're going to go for 10. Let's speed it up. 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. Keep the legs as straight as you can for 6, 4, 7. See if they can touch. 4, 8. Feeling that side abdominal crunch. 4, 9. And for 10. Hold the 2 together for 5. For 4. Don't drop the block. For 3, 4, 2. On 1. Both legs to sky. Block into the left. Take a moment to readjust. Try not to panic, we do have the left side to go. You're going to take the block in the left hand out towards the left hand side. Right fingers behind the right earlobe. This time left leg stays. Right heel floats just shy of the mat. You know we have 10 to go, so let's get in the game. Take a breath. Exhale, go for 1. 4, 2. 4, 3. See if you can make that cross-body connection for 4. 4, 5. For 6, for 7, for 8, for 9, and 10. Hold the 2 together for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, on 1. Knees to chest. Drop your block. Wrap your hands around your knee. Taking a gentle rock from side to side. Just feeling that low back, almost massage on the mat. Always come from effort, you give the body a little chance to rest, not too long. We want to stay in the activity a little while longer. So once you feel your breath starting to slow back down, I hate to tell you, but we are going to meet back in the Utkatasana. So you can keep the hands around the knees, take a little rock back and forwards. And lift ourselves up off the floor, draw the knees together, lift the chest. Scoop the tailbone under, take an inhale. And exhale, we'll come to stand. And bring the palms together. After all that abdominal strengthening work, the abs are probably feeling a little bit tight. So we're going to work to give them a length. And when we reach our arms up, so take a breath in, reach them forward and up. Take them slightly back this time. So feel that opening through the front of your abs, your rectus abdominis. And exhale, fold straight over your thighs. And inhale, take the halfway lift, so draw your sternum forward. And your choice, you step or float back, make your way through your vinyasa. And if, like me, you've forgotten your push-up, you can always add it in after your upward facing dog. You rebend the elbows, lower down, press yourself back up. And then come to downward facing dog. Left foot a little closer to the right foot. Inhale, reach that right leg up and back behind. Exhale, knee draws to chest. Gently step the right foot by the right thumb. You're going to drop the back heel down. Locate your blocks. Come on up, find a halfway lift in your torso and work to straighten both legs. So if you want to step your left foot up a little closer, turn the toes on a 45 so you can help wrap your left hip forward and try and get those hips nice and square towards the front. Activating the right quadricep, pressing down through the right big toe. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale to fold, bend the elbows, drop the head. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold. We're going to hold this fold for a little bit. So if you feel comfortable there, I encourage you to walk your left foot backwards so we get more length between the feet. Continually working to send the right hip backwards, wrapping the left hip forwards. If you need to take your hand to the tailbone to make sure both hips are the same height, absolutely. You can pop your blocks on the lower side there. Maybe you decide you don't need the blocks and you pop them out of the way using fingertips or palms flat on the air. Important when stretching the back of the hamstring, you get a little bit of activity in the quadricep. That'll stop you hopefully from hyperextending and going too far, stretching too much in the back of that leg. Looking for this feeling of the forward fold, so allowing the head to be nice and heavy, the elbows to bend. And take one last breath here. Stay as we exhale. Come onto the fingertips for a moment, lift your chest. You're going to keep that back leg exactly where it is, just bend into the front knee. So you're preparing your legs for warrior one. If you need a little more space, you shuffle the right foot a little more to the right hand side. We go down with the right thigh first, find a lot of depth. And from there you reach your arms forward and up. You're coming from your warrior one shape. We're going to bring in the twist, the same twist we found in the chair pose. So take a breath here. Exhale, twist to right, left arm forward, right arm back. Right hand finds the tailbone. Peel your right shoulder blade back and drive the right thigh bone down, bend your left elbow. As you exhale, left elbow finds the outside of the right thigh. You can stay right here if you like, just working to peel the right shoulder blade back. If you find more space, right palm on the left fist. Peel the right shoulder blade up and gaze towards the ceiling. So Parivrtta, Parsvakonasana, revolved side angle pose. Super strong twist. If you need to lift your back heel at any point, you absolutely can. If you feel good, keep sitting lower in the right thigh. If there's more space, you can reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Alternatively, extend it to the front of the room. So really strong twist. You can use your left hand to your right rib cage to help to peel that up towards the ceiling a little bit more. We're going to be here for 2 breaths. So inhale. Stay for your breath out. Take one more like that. Full breath in. Hold for the exhale. Gently soften both hands to the earth. Lift the back heel, drop the back knee. And start to guide your hips back. If you have a block, you can pop it underneath your hips. So we're coming into this Ardha Virasana or halfway hero pose. If there's something supporting your hips, make sure it's supporting both of them at the same height. So if it's a block, it's underneath the left sitting bone and the right sitting bone. Knees are drawing towards each other. So we're taking that right leg out of the bent knee experience for a moment, giving it some length. And there's absolutely opportunity to take a twist here if you want it. So you interlace your fingers, draw the right knee to chest. Give it a little squeeze, so draw it in nice and close. And then from here, your left fingers will find the outside of your right foot. Right hand will find your tailbone. Just like we had been, you peel the right shoulder back. If there's space, extend your right leg. So you're finding that twist here from the shoulder blades again, so right shoulder blade moves back. Press the ball of your right foot forward. If you have the space, rather, extend your right arm back behind you. Maybe you can see it with your left eye. Both sitting bones still grounded. If you feel yourself falling back, press into the top of the left foot, find more height. One last breath. Stay as you breathe out. And mindfully, we'll bring that right hand to the right foot. So it's going to take the place of your left hand. So right hand to outside of foot, left hand to inside. You can bend the knee as much as you need. We are going to work towards Crunchasana. So lifting the right leg up as high as it will allow you to lift right now. You can bend into your elbow to try and bring that right leg a little closer towards the face. So top of the left foot pressing down, chest lifting, belly drawing in, the abs are working. And hold for your inhale. Stay as you breathe out. And gently, gently re-bend your right knee. I'm going to ground down the right foot. From here we are setting up for twisted half moon. So we're going to rock forward. We're in this low lunge sort of shape. Take a block, pop it in front of your right foot, maybe about 30 centimeters. Now your left hand is going to rest on top of that block, nice and flat. Right hand's going to find your tailbone. Tuck under the left toes, lift the left knee. You've got a nice straight line from right foot to the block. Good amount of space between the two, again maybe about 30 centimeters, maybe even more. As you press that left palm down, you're going to lean weight forward into the right foot and float the left leg up off the mat. So left toes flex towards the face. Both hips are nice and even, same height. Press down with the left hand to peel the right shoulder blade up. And like our first twist, your chin can line up with your left shoulder blade, and if you feel the right shoulder lift, you can extend the right arm up towards the ceiling. Navel pulls into spine, right leg is firm and strong. Super strong twist so you can keep your gaze down towards your left hand. If you feel space, you can start to shift your gaze. Maybe towards the right hand side first. Maybe gently up towards the right. Woo. Super challenging to change that gaze once you're in the twisted bum. See if you can stay in your shape as you breathe in. Embrace the exhale. And both hands, both feet fold forward at the top of the mat. Once your breath has returned to normal, we'll shuffle our two big toes to touch. Pop up onto the balls of the feet and just lower your hips back towards your heels. So we're in this little toe squat for a moment. We are preparing our body for Ekapada Kundinyasana 1, or the essentially a side crow, and we work to extend the legs. So we want to keep the chest, the shoulders and the arms square towards the front of the mat. The legs will work to, the knees rather, will work to twist towards the left hand side. So I'm going to just turn myself towards the front of the mat here, just so you can see a little more what's going on. So if I'm doing the opposite to what you do, just listen to my cueing and we'll take it from there. So you're facing the front of your mat, chest, shoulders, arms all square towards the front. On an exhale, we're going to take the knees to the left. So big exhale to get all the air out is a strong twist. We are twisting from the pelvis now rather than the shoulder blade, so it is a little deeper. Now just like all our chair twists and our lunge twist before, we're going to take the back of the left arm to the outside of the right thigh. The back of the left arm to the outside of the right thigh. And you ground the hands down as though the arms were setting up for chaturanga, so they're square, biceps wrapping forward, elbows bending. And then we lift the hips nice and high. I like to imagine I'm looking over a fence here. So as I work to lift, I come up onto the toes, hips lift, 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 lift. You can rest on the two big toes. If you feel more space, keep bending the elbows, maybe the feet float. You can stay right here with the knees bent. If you want to work the fuller variation, the right leg will extend to the left hand side. The left leg will extend to the back of the room. So it's that same twist we've been working on. If you have the pose, see if you can hold it for 3. Squeeze the elbows in for 2. Pull the belly in for 1. And if you have the transition, we come back through chaturanga. Don't forget your push-up if you're taking the stronger practice today. And come back to downward facing dog, and I'll just turn myself back to the front of the room. Give yourself 5 breaths. It has been a strong practice. We've warmed up really, really quickly, so give yourself a chance to readjust, redefine, remember all those rewords we were using. If we need to let a little bit of energy and heat go, take a full inhale. Open the mouth. And inhale, left leg reaches up and back behind us. Exhale, left foot by the left thumb. Locate our blocks if you have them once again. You're going to step up your back foot a little. Prepare our legs for that Parsvanasana, that pyramid shape. So both legs are working towards straight and the hips are working towards square. So you'll press the left hip backwards, wrap the right hip forwards. Activate through the quads and work to lift the chest. So taking a breath here in the halfway lift. Exhale as we bend the elbows, we drop the head. Two more times. Last one. Lift, 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 lift the chest. Exhale, let yourself fold. Remember, blocks can move towards a lower height or you can shift them out of the way completely. If you have the space, hands or fingertips can rest on the floor. So creating this connection between the left rib cage and the left thigh as you fold over. So head dropping, elbows bending, everything nice and heavy. And you can use a hand on the tailbone to make sure hips are roughly the same height, they're next to each other. And I encourage you now, if you can, shuffle the right foot back a touch, a little longer in your stance as we are preparing towards our peak twist, or one of our peak twists today. When you feel ready, you feel integrated, we lift the chest, we bend the front knee. So you're setting your legs up for warrior one. I like a little more space between my feet. I shuffle them a little wider, meaning left foot a little more to the left hand side, right foot a little more to the right hand side. So you can take the same variation or you can take it a little more traditional with the feet a little more narrow and closer towards each other. You lift up onto the fingertips, go nice and long in the thigh and work to reach your arms. So going for depth, looking towards or for that 90-degree angle in the front thigh. Front of the hips lifting, right hip wrapping forward. Take a breath. Exhale, twist to left. Left hand finds the tailbone, you peel the left shoulder blade backwards. Drive the left thigh bone down, take a breath. Bend the right elbow on your exhale. Right arm to the outside of the left thigh. So this connection, right arm to left thigh, is exactly what we're finding in our arm balance later on. So build that connection. You can take your left palm on your right fist, start to peel yourself up towards the ceiling. A super strong twist, both sides are not going to be even. So once again, you can lift the back heel if you need to, make more of a crescent lunge shape in the legs if that feels better for you. Navel's pulling in towards the spine. You can keep checking in with the hips, making sure the right glute is firm. The hips are the same height as each other. Sending the left thigh down, even though we don't really want to right now because it is a strong pose. If you have more space, left arm can reach up, or left arm can move forward to the front of the room. Right hand rests on the left rib cage to help finish off that twist. We're here for a breath. Enjoy the exhale. And gently, both hands to the mat. Back heel lifts, back knee drops. Guide the hips back. Shift your block underneath your sitting bones. Definitely taking a moment here. Super strong twist, super deep on that front thigh as well, so you give yourself a chance to readjust. Along the way, you need to pause the video to give yourself a few more moments, absolutely. I unfortunately don't have the luxury to be able to pause the video while I'm recording it. So both sides are not going to be even right here. If you use one block on the first side and you may need two for this one, just be okay with that. It doesn't have to be perfectly even on both sides, and it's not going to be. We're not robots. So we are having a human experience, which does mean we all have our little wonky bits. You crush that left knee towards the chest, wrap the fingers around the shin and keep the left foot flexed, lifting the chest up nice and high. So we work towards twist, right fingers to the outside of the left foot, left hand to tailbone, sit up tall, peel the left shoulder blade back. If you feel the space, extend your left leg forward. You can start with chin in line with the right shoulder as you look forward. If you feel the space, extend your left arm back behind you. Gaze to your left thumb with your right eye. Shoulders moving away from the ears. shoulder blades spreading apart from each other. So you're finding protraction and depression in your scapula, your shoulder blades. Both sitting bones equally grounded, top of the right foot pressing down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, twist a little more. We'll bring that left arm towards the left foot. It'll take the place of the right foot. And right hand will find the inside. Bend the knee as much as you need. We're working to extend the left leg up as high as it will go right now. So take a strong grip on the bottom of the left foot. Thumbs are just going to press on the base of the toes there. Point the ball of the foot up towards the ceiling. Start to lift that left leg to whatever capacity it will lift right now. Bend into your elbows. Try and lift your chest a little higher. One long breath in. Stay for exhale. Gently re-bend the knee. You soften the foot down. So preparing for our Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana, a revolved half moon on the left side. Absolutely not going to be even on both sides, I can assure you. So block, if you have it, take it about 30, 40 centimeters even in front of your left foot. Come from this little lunge shape. So right hand presses down onto the block, left hand to tailbone, and tuck the back toes, lift the back hand. So you want to feel this straight line from your block to your left foot to your tailbone. And you use that to lean forward, gently float the right leg. As soon as the right foot lifts, you flex the toes, try and lift the foot the same height as the hip. Left hand's encouraging the hips to stay nice and square, navel's pulling in, so we're finding this uplift of energy here. You press down through the right hand to peel the left shoulder blade up towards the sky. You're feeling a strong opening on the outside of the left hip. If you feel the space, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Feel okay to wobble, to adjust if you need to come out of the pose and readjust and re-enter, absolutely. Flex the right toes towards you, extend that left arm up a little bit higher. Let's take a breath together. Stay for that breath out. And then gently fold forward. Both hands, both feet. And work towards a Parahasta or Parahastasana, standing on the palm of the hands. Bend the knees as much as you need to get them there. Let your head drop heavy. Chance to slow down for a moment. We have one more piece of effort before the practice slows down. We are preparing for our arm balance here on the second side. So you release your hands when you're ready. Any blocks in the way, you just set them off to the side. So we lift up the heels, come down to that little toe squat. You can take a moment to rest there. It's going to feel nice to compress the legs into that nice little shape, especially after all the straight leg stuff we've been working on. So once again, like we did before, it is the chest and shoulders that stay square towards the front. It's the knees that move off to the side. So a lot of yoga practitioners and yoga teachers even will teach this with knees facing the front and the twist happening from the hands, so the hands will face off towards the side. Because the Vinyasa krama, or the stages of the practice, in the Vinyasa yoga practice, so every pose has a transition, there's always a flow. So if you move towards the side, it's really hard to get back to downward facing dog from there without all the shuffling and adjusting. Whereas if you keep the hands and chest square towards the front and twist the knees off to the side, well, your torso is already in the chaturanga. So it's only the legs that need to shift. So we'll take an inhale. Exhale, knees twist to right. I like a really strong exhale there to let everything go so you find that deep twist. So now it's the back of the right arm. That will find the outside of the left thigh. Hands are square towards the front of the room. It's like the torso doesn't know you're in a twist. It still thinks it's setting up for its standard chaturanga. Biceps wrap forward. If it's the hips getting high, that's the biggest issue that you're finding. You can set your feet onto a block, so taking the feet up a little bit higher. Really creating that connection, right arm and left leg. Letting the left elbow be free. If you can, wrap the biceps forward. peer over the fence, climb up onto the toes, lift the hips, keep bending the elbows. Maybe the feet float. Weight even through both hands if you feel the space. Left leg to right hand side, right leg to the back of the room. Flexing both feet, keeping both hands even. See if you can hold it for 5, for 4, belly in for 3, forward 2, and if you have the transition, straight back to chaturanga. Take yourself through that push up vinyasa. We meet back in downward facing dog. So from here the journey is just going to take us towards the floor. So we've been working with a lot of pressing strength, a lot of arm strength. If you have your blocks there and you want to play with the jump through to a seat, you can take your blocks and rest them underneath your hands. If you're newer to the jump through, block on the second height is going to be the most friendly. If you're a little more familiar, you can put the blocks on the lower side, or alternatively not use blocks at all if you have the space. So the way we set it up is you come from a shorter stance in your downward facing dog, so shuffle the feet closer. That'll get the hips up nice and high, and the higher the hips are, the less you need to travel. 2 big toes to touch. Arms are the anchors here, so biceps wrap, inner palm nice and heavy. Push, push, push away from the floor. You take the gaze forward between the hands. Inhale, we lift the heels. Exhale, we bend the knees. And then just deliver your legs through the arms, keeping the arms nice and straight. You allow yourself to come down. Set the blocks off to the side. Give your legs a little shake out. In a moment we're going to come down to the back, we're not going to get back up. I'm just going to rinse out through the hips first. So take your right shin in front of you, parallel with the top edge of the mat. And then the left shin in front of that. Working to stack the knees on top of the feet and move the shins a little further away from you so you have a lot of space between your shins there. Flexing toes towards the shins so you have a dorsiflexion in the ankles. Sit up tall, take an inhale. And as you exhale, just move yourself forward in whatever capacity is available for you right now. So maybe you have the forearms grounded, maybe you have a block resting underneath your head. And a lot of our twists are working on the outside of the hips, so that's what we're doing here again. Really getting into that outer hip, that glute min, glute med and IT band sort of area. Each exhale, you work to soften yourself forward a little more. Full breath. Let it all go. Gently walking your hands back towards you. I'm going to do a swap to the other side, so see if you can keep your left shin where it is. Just cross your right shin in front of your left shin. That will ensure there is a lot of space between the shins there. And a lot of space between the pelvis, I mean. There's a lot of space so you can rest both your hands maybe between the legs. So it's a little less like you would in primary school where the feet would be all the way back towards you and the knees would be jutting out and shins coming in. It is more of that parallel stacking of shins. Feet are flexed, inhale, lift your chest, and exhale to move forward. And remembering both sides are not equal, maybe one side you need your block. Your breath slow down. And then the efforts of the practice start to wash away as we move towards stillness. And take your final breath out. And open your mouth to let it go. Those audible exhales really help to release anything that we may be holding on to. Come back up, just shake out the legs. Gently take yourself down onto your back, wrapping your hands around your ankles as you lower down. So we're just going to finish off with a bridge pose here and then some gentle twists. So set the feet underneath the knees, hip width apart. Take the arms down by the side, pressing the elbows into the earth. And peel your shoulders back. Press through your elbows and your feet to tuck your tailbone and lift your hips. Like we did in that first Tadasana, take your thumbs just to your bottom. Move the skin of your glutes down towards the back of your knees. So taking the lumbar spine out of compression, giving yourself a little more space. Chin draws to chest, we press through the heels to guide the shins back. If you find the space, feel free to interlace your hands there. I'm going to be here for 5 breaths, so that's 5 of your own breaths. See if you can close your eyes. Draw your inner thighs towards each other, knees are parallel. Extending through the front of the hips. One last little bit of strength in the legs. Take 2 more breaths here. Lift the hips higher in your final inhale. And exhale, let it go. Release the hands if they're interlaced. Allow yourself to lower down. Take a moment just to let your back spread out on the mat. Shuffle the feet wide, let the knees come together. Finish off the same twists we've been working on all practice. So extending your left leg out long in front of you. Bringing your right knee in towards your chest. Give that a hug, a squeeze. Then we'll take right knee into left hand. We want to pick up the left hip, tuck it under, and cross that right knee over to the left hand side. Definitely a lot of wiggling and adjusting here because we want to keep both shoulder blades grounded. Spread the arms apart wide. If you have the space, you can take your left fingers to the outside of the right foot and extend the right leg. Maybe turning your gaze over your right hand. So again, twisting from the pelvis now, so more of a deeper twist in the belly, so letting your exhales really release everything. As you make your way back to center, turn your hips to square first. This time extending right leg, giving left knee a squeeze, hugging that in. And then left knee will cross off to the right hand side, so pick up the right hip, tuck it under, and then really wiggle and adjust so you can find as much space between the arms as you can. And working to get both shoulder blades grounded onto the earth. You can stay with left knee bent, or if you did on the previous side, right fingers catch the outside of the left foot. You work to extend your legs, Supta Hasta Parangustasana. Lots of exhaling, lots of belly softening. Nothing left to do, nothing left to see. You can keep your eyes closed, just bring your hips back to center. Hugging the knees in towards the chest, wrapping hands around both of your shins and pulling your forehead, drawing your forehead in towards your knees. Pressing yourself into this nice tight shape. A gentle rock from side to side. The final breath. And you exhale and release yourself down towards Shavasana. Extending legs one at a time. Thumbs to the glutes to move the skin of the glutes down towards the heels. Toes fall out to either side. Back of the hands rest, palms face up. So for today I'm going to leave you right here in Shavasana. You stay as long as you need and you hop up whenever you feel the urge. I want to thank you so much for practicing. Acknowledge your own efforts. Have a sense of gratitude towards yourself for practicing. If you want to express any gratitude towards the video, feel free to like or comment or subscribe, whatever you feel the need to do.
Enjoy your Shavasana.